The thick Kentucky air clung to Clara's skin as she stood at the entrance of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Its imposing brick facade loomed against the twilight sky, casting long shadows that seemed to reach for her. Clara wasn't here for history. She sought the spirits that haunted these crumbling halls, drawn in by the countless stories of the tormented souls trapped within. Years had passed since the sanatorium stopped functioning as a tuberculosis hospital, but the echoes of its dark past whispered through the walls. Clara clicked her flashlight on, the narrow beam cutting through the suffocating darkness. As she stepped inside, the stench of mold and decay assailed her senses. The air felt heavy, almost tangible, as if each breath was a battle against some unseen force. In the distance, the faint sound of labored breathing sent chills down her spine. Determined, she made her way to the 5th floor, rumored to be the most haunted part of the building. Clara's footsteps echoed ominously as she ascended, every creak of the wooden stairs amplifying the tension. Upon reaching the 5th floor, she felt an icy draft, colder than the October night outside. She approached room 502, notorious for the double tragedy: a nurse who hanged herself after discovering she was pregnant, and another who jumped to her death shortly after. Clara's heart pounded as she pushed the door open. Inside, the room was a time capsule of misery, with rusted hospital beds and peeling wallpaper. She set up her EVP recorder on a dusty table and asked the unspeakable silence, "Is anyone here with me?" Moments passed with no response. Her doubts began to creep in, but then she heard it, a faint, sorrowful voice saying, "Help me." Clara's blood turned to ice. The temperature plummeted, and she could see her breath fogging up the air. A shadow darted across the room, followed by another whisper, "Leave now." Fear gripped her, but curiosity won over. She moved deeper into the room, hoping to capture more evidence of the supernatural. The door suddenly slammed shut, plunging her into darkness. Panic set in as she struggled to reopen it, but it wouldn't budge. Then she felt it, a hand, icy and ethereal, gripping her shoulder. The voice whispered again. Only this time, it was joined by many others, a cacophony of tormented souls, pleading, accusing, and crying. When the door finally creaked open on its own, Clara stumbled out, her heart racing. She didn't look back as she fled down the stairs and out of the building. Outside, the fresh air was a stark contrast to the oppressive atmosphere within. She had her evidence, but it came with a price. Waverly Hills had left its mark on her, a dark stain that would never wash away.